Good evening, everybody. I am Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling here in the 3 News studios, and we have quite a bit to chat about in the forecast, both in the near term and in the longer term as well. Thought I'd give you a few of the notes that I like to give myself when we get into these kinds of situations. The big story is that we have cold air, and the reason we have cold air is because of what's known as the negative NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation. I'm going to break this down for you coming up in just a little bit, but just know this is a hemispheric pattern change that has finally brought cold air to the area. We had to get the cold air before we could get more snow. And we have a weak clipper that's going to be passing through the Ohio Valley on Friday. That means light snow for all of us. That then kicks off lake effect snow because Lake Erie is wide open. We could have some impactful snow Friday night through the day on Saturday, and that may linger into Sunday for some of our eastern counties. And then comes Monday. Don't sleep on Monday's system. I know everybody's talking about this is going to be way more impactful for areas south, but these storm systems, track is everything. If it comes farther north, we could get dusted with some snow. So we are talking about a panhandle system coming through the Ohio Valley on Monday. That we're going to break down too. First of all, though, it's all about the cold air. We have been very mild here in the latter part of December. Now we're finally getting into some cold air, and it's not just a taste of cold air. This is going to be a much bigger deal for us. This is the overall pattern that we have in place right now in the jet stream, high aloft. And this kind of a pattern introduces rapid storm development. So we have systems that are moving through at a pretty good clipper systems, and they follow right along with this jet stream pattern. In the coming days, though, we are going to see a blocking pattern developing, and blocking patterns are a really big deal when we're talking about the jet stream in the upper part of the atmosphere, and that is this pattern that you see right here. Basically, there's a kink in the flow, and anytime you have a kink in a flow, much like your garden hose, that means everything starts to back up. And this pattern is the negative NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation. It's a pressure differential between the eastern part of North America and western portions of Europe. But what happens is we have a big block of warm air that's sitting up here in the North Atlantic, and that makes all of this flow start to back up. So our rapidly progressing storm systems in our jet stream pattern that was kind of moving along swiftly, all of a sudden that starts to slow down. And when things start to back up, it impacts areas farther to the west. So we have a very prolific jet stream that's coming in off of the Pacific, and it's going to run right into this backup. That is a big problem. Much like water chooses the path of least resistance, air does the same thing. And so because we have that block in the North Atlantic, this jet stream in the Pacific is going to start to head north. That will dislodge cold air that is sitting up here in the Arctic and send it farther south. Because we still have that block in place, there's nowhere for it to go. Everything starts to dig in. So you're going to hear about warmer temperatures on the West Coast, a lot of rain, a lot of snow coming. But more importantly here for Ohio, you're going to hear about this blast of cold air that is coming in. And we're talking about some pretty chilly temperatures, nothing we haven't dealt with before, but it's this pattern change that's going to kind of lock it into place. So we have not only the cold air now, but we're going to start to get little storm systems that come through on that. So the overall picture from the Climate Prediction Center and the National Weather Service is obviously showing below average temperatures in the longer range forecast. But as I said, this is kind of locking in for even beyond that. So as we make this transition, this hemispheric pattern change is taking place. As that transition comes in, we'll have storm systems that ride right along the edge of it. First of all, we have a clipper that's coming through tomorrow that's going to bring widespread snow, then kick off lake effect for Friday night into Saturday. Then Monday, a more potent storm system will be coming in. That's the one that's riding on this change. That will bring us widespread snow throughout the Ohio Valley. It's all about track on this one, but then we'll have lake effect snow on the backside of that as the cold air kind of gets firmly entrenched. So as far as our weather impact alert day for tomorrow, for Friday, this will continue into Saturday, but it's going to transition into more lake effect, which is pretty typical for us. But the widespread snow, especially tomorrow morning in the early morning, will be notable, especially for areas farther south of Cleveland. Here is the clipper system. Doesn't look too robust as of yet, but this little baby will be cruising into southern Ohio, and as it does so, you can see this snow shield right here. That will be cruising through Ohio too, and most likely impact our southern counties tomorrow morning. There are alerts that are in place that are not for that clipper. Let me say that again, not for that clipper. Those alerts are farther south. All of this is for the lake effect snow on the backside of the clipper, okay? So it's kind of this 1-2 punch in trying to break it all down. It gets really confusing. So let's not focus on the technicalities. We have advisories, we have warnings. We're gonna focus on impacts, and the impacts could be pretty hefty tomorrow morning because the snow will be coming in at a pretty good clip. So 10 p.m., we still have partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies in the area. Temperatures are cold, wind chills will be down in the teens at times, but tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., stop the clock. Now you can see what I'm talking about. We have this burst of snow that's going to be coming in. Darker purples mean heavier snow, and we could be seeing that coming down as early as 4 a.m. for areas south of Cleveland. But note, we'll get a light coating of snow likely all the way up into the city too. Fast forward to 6 and 7 a.m., that snow shield that's associated with the clipper is going to be moving out. And on the backside, we start to open up the possibilities for lake effect snow across the entirety of the lakeshore. Again, this is 7 a.m., winds gusting, snow starting to come down. We're probably going to have a burst of snow as this comes in. This is where things start to change as far as the game goes, right? On traffic especially. Thankfully, a lot of folks are still off tomorrow, but if you have to be out tomorrow morning, especially mid to late morning in greater Cleveland, anywhere in our northern counties, you're going to get a little bit of a notification from Mother Nature that you better slow down. We have bursts of heavy snow coming as this lake effect gets going, also gusty winds. So visibility issues and also problems on the roads with just any kind of snow accumulation. That initial burst could be heavy enough that the road crews may not be able to keep up right away. The good news is we start to get more scattered snow showers as we head through late morning into early afternoon. And this is more or less the traditional lake effect snows for the primary and the secondary snow belt. This is going to continue throughout the afternoon into the overnight and even into Saturday morning. 4 a.m. Saturday morning, you can see we still have snow coming down. Where it's not snowing, notice your temperatures have now dropped into the teens, and we still have very gusty winds. So we could be looking at wind chills near 10 degrees to start Saturday morning. Now, as far as snow accumulations, this is where things kind of start to stack up, right? Because the initial clipper by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. will probably bring an inch or two, maybe 3, to all of northern Ohio. Then we start to add in that lake effect. Remember, here comes that burst of snow, and we'll likely end up totaling about 1 to 3 inches for the area. Primary and secondary snow belts, however, you will start to stack up a little bit more snow because those snow showers will be persistent. And by the time all is said and done, sorry the numbers popped off, we're probably looking at anywhere from 6 to 12 inches in the primary snow belt areas, with maybe 4 to 7 inches in the secondary, depending upon where you are, probably 4 to 6. But it does look like we at least have some snow showers that are going to be coming down, especially favoring eastern areas. Western part of the secondary snow belt and south, probably 2 to 4 inches is not going to end up to be a whole lot for you folks. And then farther south, you're still dealing with that clipper snow, so hopefully things have been cleaned up by then. So Friday morning, widespread snow and wind. Friday evening into Saturday, the lake snow gets going in the primary and the secondary snow belts. But don't sleep on Monday, because we have plenty more to talk about with this next system that's going to be coming in. The cool thing is when you get these various systems, you get snow from multiple different directions and from different mechanisms. The lake effect snow means that the heaviest snow will be in the primary and secondary snow belts for tomorrow and Saturday. But Monday's storm system is a panhandle system. It's going to be moving through the Ohio Valley, and that means the heaviest snow will likely be south. But will it? Because if it tracks a little bit farther north, that would put us in line to have more snow. So we have to very, very carefully watch this one. That storm system right now is just coming on shore on the west coast of the United States. A big piece of that energy will come into the Plain States, fire up, and start moving east. So let's track it. We're going to start Saturday at 7 p.m. Okay? Our lake snow is starting to wind down as this next storm system is beginning to wind up. And as it moves through the plain states into Sunday and then ultimately into Sunday night, you can see we have a very robust system that has developed. Thunderstorms, possible tornado outbreak in the deep south. We have an ice zone. This is going to be freezing rain to sleet and then snow. Just on the northern end of that sleet, that's where the heaviest snow band will be. So this right here where the pink meets the purple, that's where we're going to end up with the very heavy snow. And as this storm system moves into the Ohio Valley, let me just stop and say this is the Euro model. I'm just going to put that out there because the weather nerds will love that. But this is the Euro model, and it brings it right into Kentucky. Notice that that southern flank of this snow band here is in southern Ohio. All this has to do is move north 50 to 100 miles, which is not completely impossible. And we are in the crosshairs here in northern Ohio. So we are still watching this. Right now, it looks like the heaviest snow will be south of Cleveland, but may clip some of our counties. So that'd be Richland, Ashland, Wayne, Holmes, Tuscarawas, Carroll counties by Monday morning. So this is Monday morning. This snow will continue to move out through Monday afternoon, and then we're going to start to kick in some lake effect as we go Monday night and into Tuesday. Now, because we have a storm system a-brewing and we kind of have a general track idea where this thing is going to go, we can break down where snow versus ice is expected to be. And this dark pink here, that is the icing. This is the freezing rain, the glazing from this storm system. I think that stays south of us no matter what, so we're good on that. You can see a ½ inch of ice accumulation. There are some areas that could get an inch of ice accumulation in central and eastern Kentucky. Just north of where the ice is, that's where the heaviest snow will be. And you can see it is right along and just south of the I-70 corridor from Indianapolis through to areas south of Pittsburgh. So Columbus right now is looking like they could end up with 10 to 13 inches of snow if this verifies. Again, we're looking at the Euro model on this. Other models have this just a little bit farther south, but these systems have a funny way of starting to correct northward. So that's why we're kind of raising the red flag. And by red flag, I do mean we have put out another weather impact alert day for your day on Monday. So here is the whole cannoli in your Union Home Mortgage forecast. 29 tomorrow with that widespread early morning snow changing over to lake effect for the primary and the secondary snow belts. That carries into Saturday, and for the eastern part of the snow belt, even into Sunday. Note your temperatures are still in the upper 20s. Monday, that next storm system comes in. It will start in the early morning. We will probably have school closings Monday south of Cleveland. How's that for an extended break? And that, of course, is because of that snow. We're watching the track on that one, but we've put another weather impact alert day on Monday just because we know some kind of snow will be coming. Lake snow will continue into Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that next surge of cold air really starts to sink in, and you can see our high temperatures by Thursday don't make it out of the teens. Then we'll start to see some more snow showers coming in as another storm system comes in. It'll help to bump the temperatures up a little bit, but overall, we will not get rid of cold air nor the threat for snow for some time soon. So hopefully, everybody, you have a little bit better idea of the breakdown of why all of this is happening. But the cold air is here to stay, so expect more snow to be a part of your weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Betsy Kling with the latest from 3 News Studios here in Cleveland. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great night.